Boundary Waters is a place that everybody should have access to and can reap the same benefits from in their experience traveling in the Boundary Waters. People with disabilities in a lot of cases are often thought that they might not have the same experience for whatever reason while experiencing the Boundary Waters, or they might need to use a motorboat or something of that nature to have the same experience that an able-bodied visitor might have to the Boundary Waters. And I'm happy to know that you guys are not of that nature. Not people with disabilities are you and me and the neighborhood and or people in our neighborhood and family members that are just members of our community, and believe that a wilderness experience is some of the things to consider when you're as outfitters. I think you guys have an obligation, and you obviously know that you have to market your outfitting services, and you go to game fairs or whatever it might be, resource fairs, to let folks know that your services are available and what you offer. And one of the biggest things I think people neglect to do is to, in their written information or in their video information, they don't highlight the things that they don't make their brochures stand out in a way that people of all abilities are welcome. And it's a really an easy thing to do by putting a statement of inclusion into your brochures or into your video recruitments or whatever you might be doing. That can be done simply by saying, we welcome people of all abilities to participate in our wilderness trips. We'd encourage you to let us know in advance what some of your needs might be and some of the things that we could do to help make your experience a more positive one. A lot of times people, if they don't see that, they just assume that they're not welcome. And if you make that step of saying, hey, we're welcome, we embrace differences, we embrace diversity here on our trips, people appreciate that, appreciate knowing it. So it's just a simple, kind of a user-friendly, consumer-friendly statement that you can include in your brochures. When it comes to the actual planning of a trip, disability is a human condition. It's something that we all live with or faced with in some point in our life, and everybody's different in their levels of ability. So you can't just say that everybody's going to need wide portage paths or paved portage paths or ultralight canoes or whatever. It's basically about treating people as individuals and finding out what their certain skills and interests and needs and abilities are. And so designing kind of a registration form or some sort of questionnaire when you do find out that people have some kind of special need, making sure that they have that filled out in advance is going to give you the confidence that, hey, these are the only things that the person's going to need, or some of the things that might help make this trip a little better. As far as physical modifications to a trip, of course, route plan and level of difficulty is probably just as equally important when out or preparing to outfit a trip that include people with disabilities as for able-bodied people. You can't assume that because a guy in a wheelchair is on this trip that the trip needs to be easy or the trip needs to be tailored to this, to perceived inability of this person's mobility. By doing that, you're taking away their opportunity to demonstrate what their strengths and abilities are. Not everybody that uses a wheelchair needs to be pushed. Some folks like to push and can physically propel themselves. Other people might need a little bit more assistance. So coming up, there's the American Canoe Association has guidebooks and has suggested formats that, for making physical modifications to canoeing and to kayaking and to literature that you might have to promote your programs. There's other local agencies in the region, in Minnesota in particular. Wilderness Inquiry has done a lot of research on different routes in the boundary waters that are more accessible than others. The Forest Service has also done a lot of work at making interpretive things available. So I encourage you to contact the Forest Service and find out what they've what kind of research and information that they have available, including people with disabilities and trips in the boundary waters, and a variety of other sources. Utilize your Centers for Independent Living and other agencies that are service providers of people with disabilities in the communities around you.